Welcome to our house. This is the Screenplay Podcast. I'm your host, Evan Grenis, and with me, as always, PGA Tour player Andrew Novak.
What's up, everyone? We've made it. We've made it to the Super Bowl. One big week of football. Obviously excited for it, but this is our last week of football until like what, August?
Yeah, until
So
we get draft
tough.
talk talking, which is what,
Oh
like
yeah, we got
April.
draft up, but
Yeah,
this is our last football game we get to see until then. So
I know. Entire
enjoy
season.
it.
What is this? This is our 26th episode of the season. So yeah, gonna get into it. Another strong finish for you this week on the PGA Tour out at Pebble Beach. Keep it
Yeah.
going. Where are you at this
Mhm.
week?
Waste Management Phoenix Open. Going to be a lot of drunk people having a great time. If we have any listeners somehow there, say what's up.
Yeah, say what's up to Andrew. If you're out there in Phoenix, what are you looking forward to most this week? It's one of the crazier events out there on tour.
Yeah, it's honestly just the atmosphere. Like we really don't play. We play in front of a lot of fans, and we have great fans, but we don't play in front of this many fans, this much chaos, week in week out at all. So it's fun to kind of embrace the chaos for a week.
Yeah, the Super Bowl atmosphere on the PGA Tour for the week.
Yeah.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at screenplay_podcast. New episodes every Wednesday, 8 a.m., wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, we've had the week off from football. A lot of time to prepare bets, gather our thoughts, down to our last game here. Kansas City Chiefs versus Philadelphia Eagles. Ton of headlines. You got Saquon. You got Chiefs going for the three-peat. You got Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. You can go whatever you want with the direction of this game. What are your thoughts? What do you look forward to seeing? What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a like ball possession kind of slugfest. I think both teams are going to be concerned about the other team's playmakers, their ability to execute on offense. Both teams have very good defenses, and I think they're going to try and lean on their run games to basically play keep away with the ball from the other team, keep their own defenses fresh and try and dominate time possession.
Yeah, no, I agree. They played each other in the Super Bowl back in February 12th, 2023. Kansas City won that game 38-35. They played again November 11th, 2023. Philly won that game 21-17. When I look at this Super Bowl, I believe low scoring helps Philadelphia, and I believe high scoring helps Kansas City. I think the Eagles have a, I think they have a better defense than the Chiefs. Um, I think leaning on Saquon is going to be important. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I do agree leaning on Saquon will be important for Philly. I think both of these two defenses, I think, are two of the top three defenses in the NFL. The Chiefs may very well be the best defense, and the Chiefs, in my opinion, definitely have the best defensive coordinator in the NFL. So, yes, the Eagles' defense is great, but I don't think the gaps between the defenses, and especially not when you factor in the Spags effect over the course, he's getting 2 weeks to prep for this. I think you're going to see two very strong defenses collide here. Obviously, there was the Super Bowl they played 2 years ago, and
Right.
everybody saw the shootout. Neither team had a defense like they have now for that game. They have, some of the, you still have Mahomes and Kelsey. You still now they had Eagles added Saquon, but you had Jalen Hurts. Like AJ Brown was on that team. Devontae Smith, I think, was on that team as well. Uh, and so, like, you have the offensive pieces, but the biggest thing for me is both of these teams have significantly improved on defense.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When I look at the Chiefs this season, there's a couple games that stood out to me. I'm going to take you through a couple of them. Week 14, they played the Chargers. They win that game by 2. The Chargers had 94 rush yards. In week 12, they play the Panthers. They win by 3. The Panthers had 85 rush yards. In week 11, they lose to the Bills. The Bills had 100 rush yards. In week 10, they beat the Broncos by 2. The Broncos had 78 rush yards. Conference championship last week, Chiefs win by 3. Rush yards on the Bills, 130. My point I'm trying to make here is that teams that are succeeding against the Chiefs are not doing it on the ground. They're doing it through the air. So I know Saquon's the big piece of this game. I think they're going to lean on him. I think they're going to lean on him late once they are up. I expect Hurts to come out to throw the ball, for them to get up early, and then for them to lean on Saquon all year. We've been kind of questioning whether the Eagles can throw the ball, whether Hurts can do it. I think they're going to have to do it this week. I think they're going to have to do it early. The success against the Chiefs comes when you're doing it through the air, not on the ground.
I fully expect Spagnuolo to do everything in his power to take Saquon out of this game. I don't think you could take Saquon out of the game, but I do think the run defense that Kansas City has and the pressure that he can dial up loading the box, I would imagine that you're going to see a lot of guys in the box to start the game. The Eagles are not going to be able to just run it early and often. Kansas City is going to come out, put the pressure on, and force Jalen Hurts to have to make some throws. I think A.J. Brown in man coverage obviously is a mismatch, but if you're banking on Jalen Hurts not to be able to make those throws, then I still think you can, stop the Eagles that way.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into what everybody wants to talk about. Gambling. We have a ton of bets put down this week. A lot of research done into it. We're going to take you through them. For the playoffs at the moment, I'm 5-1-1. Andrew is 4-2-1. Overall on the year, I am 28-30-1. Andrew is 35-21-2. So Andrew, you've had a great year gambling. I need my bets to hit this week if I want to get back to 500. So we're going to count our two main bets this week towards our record, our spread and the over under. I mean, all week I followed the line. I mean, it opened at 1.5. I expected it to kind of go down towards Pick'em and back up towards 1.5 where it is. Thought the Eagles fans were going to put some money. It really hasn't moved. It's been at 1.5 the entire time.
Yeah.
I hate Nick Sirianni. I hate the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm a Patriots fan, so I hate what they I hate Nick Foles. I hate the Eagles coming back on them. But I just can't fight this feeling. I think the Eagles are going to take this one. I got the Eagles plus 1.5, and I got the under 48.5. It really pains me to put money in on the Eagles here. It really does. I just don't see the Chiefs getting the three-peat. I mean, everything the league does is to prevent stuff like this from happening. I think the Eagles are a better team. I think they have the more solid O-line. Unless something weird happens with the refs, I think the Eagles take this one. So I'm going Eagles plus 1.5 and under that 48.5.
If the league was trying to prevent it, they probably could have told the refs that like multiple weeks ago and tried to actually work at preventing
When I
it.
say the league is trying to prevent it, what I mean is like salary cap
Yeah.
and parity in the league, not necessarily like straight up with the refs.
Yeah. I got you. So on my side, we did not take bets last week. We took the extra week to collect our thoughts. I have spent this past week trying to find a singular reason why I shouldn't bet the Chiefs in essentially a pick 'em. And the Chiefs have not given me a single reason to not think they're going to win this game. Everything I've seen them do, all they do, special teams, defense, offense, it does not matter. They find ways to win. The same thing will happen again. The Eagles probably will put up a good fight, but in the end, somebody's going to make a play. I wouldn't be surprised if it's special teams, defense, forcing a turnover or something, and Mahomes is going to capitalize. The Chiefs will win this game. They will cover the 1.5. But I do agree with you. I think it goes under 48.5. I think that even opened at 49.5. So if you got in early, congrats. I see this being a bit of a slugfest. The Chiefs are not afraid to kick field goals if they need to, keep the score down a little bit, and let their defense work. So I'm taking Chiefs in the under.
Yeah, last week or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, you said that you refused to bet against the Chiefs. You stuck with that.
Until they prove me like
No, I
wrong,
know.
like until they give me a reason, I'm just not gonna do it.
I wanted to bet the Chiefs, but everything that I found, everything that I was seeing over the past 2 weeks led me to believe the Eagles. When the Patriots were perfect, what was that? Back in 2007, was it?
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patriots had their perfect season. Were supposed to win that Super Bowl, and Eli Manning and the Giants do it to him. Uh, Even when the Patriots were supposed to play the Eagles, that Nick Foles season, like I, I don't know, something about just it just seems like the Eagles are just gonna knock them off. I'm getting that energy. I don't know why.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some prop bets. You could really go anywhere with this. What do you got for some prop bets?
Yeah. So starting, I'm on 3 different Chiefs here in the props, straight the way down. I like I said, I like the under. I like more of a slugfest. The Mahomes passing yards at 255.5 seems a bit high to me. I think they really try and establish on the ground. I think he could have a decent game throwing, but it still only be like 26, 27 attempts, and like, has a decent game, but still 220, 230 yards, just efficient, moving the ball, first downs. So I'm taking Mahomes under there, and then coinciding with that, I'm taking the Kareem Hunt over on 11 and a half attempts. I think they're going to be kind of ground and pound. You will see some Pacheco mixed in, but I think you're going to see a lot of Kareem Hunt just chugging out, getting 4 yards on first down. I think they want to kind of set the tone there, keep the ball away from Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley. And lastly, I will go Kelsey anytime touchdown. It's at plus 125. They're going to get down the end zone. Cameras are going to be cutting to Taylor Swift. It's going to be a whole thing. But yeah, Kelsey's getting in the end zone.
All right. You went heavy with the Chiefs. I took the Eagles. I went a little heavier on the Eagles side. I was reading off some of those rushing numbers. Um, I got this. I bet this earlier in the week. I took Saquon. This is a lot of rush yards. 100 and I got it under 116 and a half earlier in the week. It's at 112 now. So got on the right side of it, but I think Saquon has a good game. Just that's a lot of rush yards against a stout Kansas City
Yeah.
team that's good against the run D and gonna be wanting to stop him. I'm taking Jalen Carter over a quarter of a sack. That is plus money, plus 109. I'm thinking towards the end of the game in that fourth quarter, Jalen Carter gets a sack. That's what he's there for. Give me that plus 109. And then lastly on props, give me Xavier Worthy rush yards over 6.5, minus 104. 4 out of his last 5 games, he's had 10 plus rush yards. Don't count week 18, he didn't play. But yeah, basically on one play, Xavier Worthy can hit this. So I think it's a very likely prop bet to hit there. Parlay. If you put yours three together, you get, I believe it is plus 500 for your Chiefs part. Yeah, Chiefs parlay there. I got a different parlay. I'm going a different direction. I want to see what you think of this. Three thing parlay here. We got Jalen Hurts, anytime touchdown. We got an alternate spread line, Eagles plus 7.5. And then we got Dallas Goddard 4+ receptions. That is plus 200. So I don't think the Chiefs will blow out the Eagles. They don't blow out anyone. So 7.5 seems safe. Jalen Hurts is a touchdown machine, seems safe. And if they throw the ball like I think they will, Dallas Goddard will get 4 receptions, but that's if they throw it. That comes out to plus 200 for my three same game parlay. All right, let's move over into our can't miss Super Bowl bet. Last year we were both on the same one. Last year we had Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. I think it was minus 150, and we were both looking at that like how is that not going to hit? So we took that and it hit. This year, what is your can't miss Super Bowl bet?
I was looking at props. I was scouring everything, and honestly, I literally just came back to the game total going under. I just feel very confident that this will be a slugfest. I think it's going to be a ball possession game, and You probably see a few field goals back and forth or something. I just think it ends up in like kind of the could be like 23-17 sort of kind of slugfest. I think it'll be a lot of defense, a lot of running.
Yeah, in my head I got 17-14 Eagles, but if that's the case, my can't miss bet is Hurts under half an interception. It's minus 160, so you got to lay a little juice, but Hurts has his last interception. It was week 10 at Dallas. He has one interception since week 3. That Eagles defense is so good that Hurts's main job is to not turn the ball over. That's got to be his number one priority the entire game. So I like Hurts under half an interception. All right, Super Bowl show. I'm not always entertained by it. This year I am. Kendrick Lamar. Uh, First song, what do you think he's going to play?
So I was looking at the odds on there. I actually could not find the song. I think he opens up with Mad City. I think the intro from that is the way it cuts in and then lights, whatever, and it goes from there. He may transition off of it quickly, but I think that intro is how he comes out. I did not see that in the odds, so
I didn't, yeah.
I'm giving you a separate bet. I'm taking the over on 10 and a half songs played in his set.
Over 10 and a half. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that no artist has performed less than 11 songs since COVID or something.
So, yeah, since COVID, the last one to do it was the weekend. He played less than that, but obviously that's COVID Super Bowl. So I think Kendrick has the opportunity to bring on multiple other artists. I think he's got a pretty
Deep catalog.
deep catalog to dip into. So I think you do see a decent bid out there.
I like that. Personally, I would like to see him open with Money Trees. I don't think it's gonna happen though. I think I'm gonna go chalk here. I'm gonna go humble. The way it drops 4 or 5 seconds in, I think it's gonna I think he'll start with that, going chalk. All right. This is your segment here. PGA Tour players, PGA Tour player caddies. You did this last year. You're out there on the range. You're out there playing your practice rounds at Waste Management this week. You've got some bets from the tour. Let's hear them.
Yeah, we were asking around. So a guy who's been on a heater lately, you might have seen him near the top of some leaderboards. Sam Stevens been playing some awesome golf. He agrees. He says he cannot pick against the Chiefs. There's no reason to. He also lives in Wichita, so a lot of Chiefs fans there probably would not appreciate him picking against them. But he also likes Kelsey 2+ touchdowns in the game as well. So he's kind of agreeing with me. Kelsey's getting in the end zone. Next up, we got JT Postman. He was the one guy I found was on Eagles +1.5, so he's in agreement with you. Next up, we're going to go Carson Young. He says every year, tails never fails on the coin flip, so that's where he's going.
I believe Tails has hit 52% of the time for the audience
so
that is wondering.
that's plus money. There you go. Because I think that's minus 102 on either side. So if it hits at 52%, you're good. And then Will Gordon likes Jake Elliott over 1.5 field goals. He loves his kickers. Last year he was on first field goal missed as a doink. So
Oh, I
yeah,
do remember that.
big
Yeah.
he's big on his kicker props. Nick Hardy also on Chiefs money line loves that, and he also liked the under of 48.5. He agreed with us. He said he was thinking it was going to be a lot of defense, two of the best defenses in the league, kind of duking it out. And then Grayson Sig with the hottest of takes. I don't even know what this would be. This might be plus 10,000. He just said the Chiefs are done. Whatever that is, Chiefs are done. So yeah, I'm gonna say probably not the case, but that's where he's going.
Sounds like
Then
Carson Wentz has a better chance at an MVP than the Chiefs just being done.
Okay, and then I got some caddies in here. My own caddy, Jeff Hamley. He likes Saquon 2+ touchdowns. Obviously, great players. He's trusting the talent there. Will Dennis is Sam Stevens' caddy. He is also on Chiefs money line, and then he liked the Saquon over on rushing yards. So kind of an interesting combo there. Um, Aaron Fleener, this is JT Poston's caddy. He also liked the Saquon over 112 and a half. And then I got Smiley Coffin in on this. He likes Saquon over 2.5 receptions, which I think is a decent chance if like you're saying, the Eagles are forced to sling the ball around a decent bit. And then lastly, a fun one that I found, the barber on site. I got a haircut today. Kind of nice.
I was gonna say your
Bar
beard looks like it maybe has some beard
Yeah,
oil
it's
in it or
it's
something.
been toned down quite a bit,
The
but
okay, the barber
barber,
on
his
site
name
at the Waste Management.
his name's Doe. We were talking football. He's a Chicago guy. This might be the hottest of takes. He has Jalen Carter MVP. It's plus 6,600, but I don't know, 2 or 3 sacks and a defensive touchdown. Absolutely. So yeah, Jalen Carter MVP.
I took a look at that. I mean, in my props, I have Jalen Carter getting a sack,
Yep.
but that'd be wild for that to happen. For him to get an MVP over Saquon, over Hurts, over AJ Brown, that'd be wild.
Final score 7-0. Only touchdown score.
I like it. All right, those were some bets from the caddies from the players on the PGA Tour, Waste Management this week. We'll get those out there, tag them. Yeah, some fun stuff there. All right, and then way too early Super Bowl champ for next season. Haven't even played this one yet. Who do you got next year? Actually, give me your matchup. Who do you got in the Super Bowl and who do you got winning it next year?
Yeah, I was bouncing around. I was trying to convince myself so many different ways. I was like, "Oh, this team could do it," and then I would be like, "Okay, but are they better than the Chiefs? Like, are they better?" And I'm not there. So I'm definitely putting the Chiefs back in it on the AFC side. NFC, I think, is a little bit more open. I want to go something like a little different, like a 49ers or something, but really, I think the Lions put it together next year. I know missing Ben Johnson's going to suck, but I think their injury situation this year was so dire, and they still were that good. I think they're going to be just fine next year, even without him. I think they have a little bit better injury luck, and we see Chiefs Lions next year.
Interesting. That's what I had this year. I was big time on the Lions this year, but they just lost, I believe it was 7 or 8 coaches. So
Yep.
that's terrible. That's so many coaches. Dan Campbell is the culture guy, so I don't really know what he's going to be able to do to bring them back next year. Uh,
So
I might have the Lions missing the playoffs. We'll see. But yeah, I agree with you on the AFC side. I have the Chiefs. I personally believe they are going to lose the Super Bowl this year. Come back next year, come back strong. It'll be Kelsey's last year. They'll win the Super Bowl. They'll end that way. On the NFC side, wide open. I got the Packers going in there against the Chiefs, and the Chiefs taking it.
I think that's who I had this year for.
Yeah.
So we just flipped it. So
if
one
Christian
one
if
comment,
Christian Watson decides to play more than
yeah,
half the games.
yeah. One comment I do have about the Lions, though, with Dan Campbell being a big culture guy, I think him still being there and keeping a lot of the leaders in that locker room on the team, I think there's going to be a lot of player led stuff within that team. I think they understand what it takes to win, and yeah, the new coaches are going to be in, but that team is pretty well bought in at this point. So I really do think it's going to be kind of well-oiled machine moving forward.
No, yeah, the team and the players are bought in. Ben Johnson, though, really, I mean, he stole a couple guys from that organization, took them with him to
Mhm.
Chicago. Uh, I don't know if Goff is good enough on his own to elevate a roster and get a couple extra wins. I think Ben Johnson may have been the guy doing it. You don't think so?
I don't think Goff has to elevate the roster. You have an insane offensive line. You have one of the best 1-2 running back combos in the league. You have some good weapons to throw it to. It's not that hard. Just stand behind that offensive line, hit the open guy when you have to. And then if that defense stays even remotely healthy, I think they're going to be in a good spot. I would not be surprised to see Aiden Hutchinson have a massive comeback kind of year. I mean, the pace he was on early season was insane. I mean, you could really be looking at defensive MVP next year if he stays healthy all season long, especially if they're up in a lot of games teams are forced to throw.
It's crazy how much talk the Lions are getting right now between us. Yeah, I think it is the NFL is filled of windows. Like, how
Yeah.
big is your window? If the Lions, I'm not saying they're going to be bad, but like if they couldn't get it done this year, when are they going to get it done? I mean, the 49ers had an off year. Uh, the Packers kind of fell apart injury wise.
Yeah, but they also had to deal with a surging Vikings team that was completely unexpected. They were coming out of the NFC, which was the tougher of the conferences, and they had by far the worst injury luck of any of the other teams. I think that were in the playoffs.
Yeah. I will say though, I think the Bengals are going to have a really good year next year.
Yeah,
New defensive coordinator, same offense. So I don't see any reason why they're not going to be
yeah,
good on
they
the
have a big
AFC
off
side.
season as far as like roster decisions to make. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think the Bengals will bounce back nice.
So I think my hot take though for this episode is going to be Eagles. They are going to win the Super Bowl. So 2025. By 2027, Nick Sirianni will be fired. I think they are going to get a Super Bowl. Kellen Moore is going to go take another job, and it's going to go downhill for the Eagles. But they're going to be happy they got a Super Bowl. They got Saquon. They got their run. Nick Sirianni, Super Bowl champion, fired 2 years later. That is my
That
prediction.
would not be the first time an Eagles head coach won a Super Bowl and then got fired very shortly after.
Nope.
So
And he's coaching in the Super Bowl, isn't he?
Peterson. Oh, did they pick him up like analysts or something, or did KC pick him? I didn't even know.
Oh, Peterson. I was talking Reed.
Oh no, I was talking Peterson. Yeah, uh,
All right.
Peterson
Well,
was fired like very quickly after winning that one. I feel like.
yeah, yeah. All right. Good luck this week in Scottsdale Waste Management. Super Bowl Sunday. Big week of sports.
Mhm.
Appreciate y'all listening. If you're out there, give Andrew a shout. Let him know you're listening. Any last words?
Enjoy it. This is our last football we get for like 6 months.
All right. Appreciate it. We'll see y'all guys next week.
See y'all.